Heck yeah, man. That thing's huge. How much turbo do you want? All of it. Thermozeal. Trick flow heads. Holly EFI. Nice work, man. Camber caster adjustments. Looks like it's got most of the caster already dialed in. Charge cooler. Strange Boys brakes. That's pretty awesome, man. Thanks for letting me play with your toy. Well, welcome back to Luke Automotive Services. Today we're working on a Fox body Mustang with an LS in it. Go figure. Seems to be a winning recipe these days. Gonna do some ride height adjustments, verify drive shaft pinion angles, and set the alignment up. I can already see that there's way too much positive camber in this. We're gonna get as much negative camber as we can, and then put get the bump steer sorted out, as well as hopefully making it go in a straight line. So got another one of these coming tomorrow. Tomorrow's a 86 F body, so we'll see what it needs. They're kind of similar front suspension systems. I think the Fox bodies are easier to work in than the F body Camaros, but they're both good platforms, and you can make either one of them really fast. So fun stuff. Let's get to work. So these struts are almost bottomed out. They only have about an inch of travel, so going up with the ride height on this is a good way to protect our Viking coilovers. 13 and 6. Let me write that down. That one's 15. And 4. So we'll split the difference there and put them back to something. But I always dial the struts back when I'm doing adjustments so that there's no resistance on them. And when I'm changing ride height, I take the weight of the vehicle off the struts. I make a mark on my collets, and then this one's already at the correct ride height side to side, so I'll make a mark on my collets and I'll take them up to increase my ride height, and I will do both sides evenly. And painting the mark on it allows me to know how many turns I go. So I'm gonna grab my paint marker, write down my settings, and get this thing off the rack. A good amount of toe in on lift. See if we can dial that in a little better. Probably need a longer bolt for that, but that's okay. Figure that out. Let's make our marks and turn our dials, and we'll go from there. Alright, so I got my ride height a little better. He said he wanted the rear to go lower, and I am out of adjustment on the Vikings because I don't want these to slack when they are unloaded. This stuff can do weird things. Not that it's going to unload on the track, but you know, you're doing work on it, it comes down and it doesn't go back in correctly, then you wonder why the thing handles funny. I always want to have some preload on my coils, so he wants to go lower in the back. Really, the only way to do lower in the back would be changing these brackets out for something that goes lower. So I'll let him make that decision on what he wants to do there. My pinion angle, my rear end's pointing up. My drive shaft is pointing down. So my engine is pointing up. So ideally, we want the angle of the drive shaft U-joint, we want the angle there to be the same from here to there. So it's a motor plate engine, it's bolted into the car solid. So really the only thing I can do is match the angle of the transmission and the pinion, which means I'm bringing the pinion down to match the angle of the engine. That will actually pick up to the back of the car. So we're going to exasperate that problem, but it might load differently. Probably want to move those down to the lower position, but I'll talk to him about that, and he can make that adjustment as he sees fit and test and see what he likes the best. Because that's really comes down to driver feel and, you know, trial and error. Super nice build. Couple things I noticed. It's got two bell bolts missing here in the lower positions, so I'll remind him to get those. Looks like they were a different length than the bell bolts he had. Stiflers. Stifler. Tie rod and inner jam nuts are gone. Ooh, that one's turned way out. Boom! And that one's turned way in. We got to figure out why that's awkward.
Offset rack issues again?
Maybe. He's got offset bushings putting it up, which is fine. But I'll measure the rod ends and figure out what's going on there. This is a nice car, man. May have to grind the knuckles to get my camber. We'll play around with that. Let me get the heads racked up and take a measurement now that I've fiddle farted around with ride height forever. Rack position looks pretty good. So I just need to shift this guy over because it's clocked weird. I'm not sure there's enough engagement in that rod end. Let me get this lined up. Back end's kicked, we're going to square that up. My toe's all crazy because I was making all sorts of adjustments to it, so that's not a surprise. Let's square up the back end real quick, make an adjustment. Probably do a little bit of equal shortening and lengthening. -22, take it off a hair more. Boom! 1717. We'll lock that down. Take that. I am not not going to be able to gain any more caster on this one without cutting the towers. I should probably install the caster camber plates on my SN95 and show everybody how to do that so you can maximize caster gain and get your camber where it needs to be. Because they all need it. Toe in about 2 degrees. So whoever's making these kits, you need to be about an inch longer. Just saying. Arms are fixed. Call him and see if he wants me to drill out his knuckles, or realistically 2 degrees isn't that much. It's when they're 8-9 degrees toe in on lift or towing out at all, that's when they get really scary. So 2 degrees we'll live with for right now. He has other things to resolve. Appreciate all you guys watching the bits we do on some of these cars. I know the alignment stuff kind of gets repetitive, but every car is actually different and requires different things to set them up correctly. Hopefully this guy will go out and run a personal best in the vehicle. That's what most of the guys that have come to me and left and gone racing, and they're like, hey, I just ran a personal best after leaving your shop. Awesome. That's what we want to hear. That's why we're doing this stuff. Help keep you guys safe and make you go fast in a straight line. I did go ahead and add a jam nut to the inside. You always want to have a jam nut. You don't want to have a loose connection of a threaded joint because they'll work themselves out. It'll just tear the threads out of this at some point. The tie rod ends aren't as critical as the rear control arms are in that situation, but it still needs to be done. It really makes the two parts into one. That's what does it, and locking them together. We have rack bushings pushing the rack up. We need to come down probably another half shim, but we don't have any space for that on here. And it's only 2 degrees toe in on lift, so that's acceptable. It's better than it would have been otherwise. We're looking pretty good. My tie rod ends are within 1/16 of an inch of length, and my rack is squared up side to side in the car. Looks like I'm going to remove the steering wheel and reclock it one spot, which will still be off a hair. I might be able to adjust that on the splines on the steering shaft. We always want our joint to be at the same spot on each side, which is what makes our tie rod ends the same length. When these are a different length, it does all sorts of janky stuff when it rises up and settles down. So this does have a, what, an inch and a half subframe spacer, which picks the car up quite a bit higher than without it. So we're getting pretty close to the end on this one. I've got a negative degree of camber. Couldn't get much caster out of this setup. Need to trim the tower a little bit to make that better, but that can be on the next time. This stuff doesn't happen all at once. It takes stages. So I kept feeling a looseness in the steering that I didn't like, and as quick ratio as this steering gear is what I was feeling. And that's a lot of play when you're doing 180 mile an hour. Looks like the other ones are locked down. I'm going to see if he'll let me put a bead on this. Lock it down. First one's a little splattery, but it'll do. So we're within 3/10 of caster. I'm out of adjustment, so we're just going to leave it there. We're within 1/10 on camber. It's just a touch of toe in. On lift, it toes in more. She's actually looking pretty good. With the rack squared up and the tie rod ends equal length in the car, my steering wheel's off just a touch. But I'm just going to take out the 5 bolts and rotate the steering wheel, reclock it. It looks like it'll be just about perfect. We like it when that happens. So let me pull the heads off this thing. We'll strip it down. Forgot to put my cotter keys in. Well, not my cotter keys, his cotter keys. Well, that's a wrap on that one, guys. Thanks for watching. Appreciate you guys bringing us your vehicles to work on and, you know, watching our shows that we put out. Really do appreciate you guys. It means a lot to us that you guys are here with us through a lot of these things. Have a great day. See you on the next one.